Have you ever been at a stoplight, looked over, and seen two motorcycles that look like they're from completely different planets? One is all low and relaxed, and the other looks like it just rolled off a racetrack. Well, today we're going to break down that huge, exciting world and figure out exactly what each and every bike is truly built for. And look, to really get a handle on just how massive this world is, you've got to understand the scale. We are not talking about just a few companies making a handful of different models. This is a massive global industry with a surprisingly deep history. Yeah, you heard that right. Over 2,500. That's how many motorcycle manufacturers there have been, spread out across more than 30 countries. A number that big tells you one thing for sure. There are a ton of different ideas out there about what a motorcycle should be and what it's supposed to do. And that, right there, is the big question we're tackling in this explainer. With literally thousands of choices, why? Why do so many different types of motorcycles even exist? What is the point of all this variety? Well, here's the best way to think about it, and this is key. Every single motorcycle is a tool. It's a specialized tool built for a specific job. You wouldn't use a sledgehammer to hang a picture frame, right? Same idea. You wouldn't take a tiny dirt bike on a 3,000-mile highway trip. Each one is engineered with a purpose. So when we're talking about bikes made of the street, pretty much every single design starts from one of two fundamental questions. Are we building this machine for maximum laid-back comfort, or are we building it for raw, blistering speed? And that is the great divide. On one hand, you've got bikes designed for a relaxed pace, for covering long distances. You've got this laid-back position where you feel like you're sitting in the motorcycle, part of the machine. And then, on the complete other side of the coin, it's all about an aggressive forward lean for aerodynamics, for control. You sit on top of the bike, commanding it through high-speed turns. And the absolute king of that comfort-first philosophy? That's the cruiser. I mean, the name says it all. It's a machine built for one thing: cruising. This is the bike most of us picture when we think of that classic all-American open road freedom. So where does that comfort come from? Well, it's all in the design. You have a super low seat and a heavy, beefy chassis that keeps you planted on the road. The seating position is totally relaxed, feet forward, and they often use these simple air-cooled V-twin engines. They're not just for that signature sound and power, they're also super easy to work on, which is why they're such a favorite for custom builders. I love this, because it just captures the whole vibe perfectly. It's not just about the bike, it's an attitude. Cruisers are designed to make you feel like you own the road, giving you this powerful, commanding presence. But the cruiser is just the starting point, right? It's a platform you can build on. You start with that stylish, relaxed base. Then you think, hey, what if I want to go farther? So you add some saddlebags and a windscreen for protection, and now you've got a bagger. But what if you want to go all out? We're talking maximum storage, a full sound system, GPS, maybe even heated seats. Well, then you've arrived at the full dresser, which is the absolute peak of two-wheeled luxury touring. All right, let's do a complete 180. Forget comfort for a second, and let's jump to the total opposite end of the spectrum, the sport bike. This thing is a direct descendant of the racetrack. Every single component is optimized for one thing and one thing only: performance. It's all about speed, agility, and just slicing through corners. So where the cruiser had that simple air-cooled V-twin, a sport bike is a whole different animal. We're talking complex, high-revving engines that need liquid cooling just to handle the incredible speeds. They demand ridiculously powerful brakes, super sophisticated suspension that you can fine-tune for the track, and of course, that aggressive riding position we talked about. And yeah, these are not beginner bikes. They're high-precision tools that absolutely demand skill to ride safely. Okay, so we've covered the pavement, but what happens when your journey doesn't stick to the nice paved roads? What happens when the road just ends? Well, that's where a whole other family of motorcycles comes into play, designed specifically to leave the asphalt in the rearview mirror. And it's not just one kind of bike, it's a whole spectrum. On one extreme, you have the pure dirt bike. It's lightweight, super rugged, and it's not even legal to ride on the street. Then, somewhere in the middle, you get the dual sport. Think of it as a dirt bike that has just enough stuff like headlights and turn signals to make it street legal. And then, at the far end of the spectrum, you have the mighty adventure bike. This is a powerful touring machine that's just as happy cruising on the highway for hours as it is climbing a rocky mountain trail. It is truly the best of both worlds for the serious explorer. All right, let's bring it back from the mountains and into the city, because not every motorcycle is built for the wide open road or a muddy trail. Some are designed specifically for the daily grind of city commuting, and, just as important, for making a pure style statement. City riding has its own set of rules, right? You've got traffic, you need to park, you need something efficient. So you need the right tool for that job too. The standard or naked bike is like the perfect all-arounder. It's simple, it's reliable, no frills. Scooters make things even simpler, usually with automatic transmissions and built-in storage. And at the most basic level, you've got mopeds, which are great for cheap, low-speed travel. Sometimes you don't even need a full motorcycle license for one. But riding in the city isn't always just about getting from A to B. Sometimes it's about making a statement. And that's where something like the bobber comes in. A bobber takes a cruiser frame and just strips it down to the absolute bare essentials. This whole style was born after World War II, when soldiers would come home and literally bob or chop the fenders off their bikes to save weight, creating this iconic minimalist look. And another icon of style? The cafe racer. This look comes straight out of 1960s Europe, where riders would strip down their bikes so they could literally race each other from one local cafe to the next. They're all about that narrow, lightweight design, low-slung handlebars, and a really distinct vintage racing vibe that is still incredibly popular today. So there you have it. From these massive, long-haul touring bikes to nimble little city hoppers, that one core idea really holds true, doesn't it? Every single motorcycle is a tool, engineered for a specific job, a specific piece of terrain, or even just a specific attitude. And when you zoom out and look at the big picture, you can really see these major families of the motorcycle world. You've got comfort and touring, you've got speed and performance, adventure and off-road, city and commuting, and style and vintage. Each category is just a reflection of the core purpose that drove that bike's design from day one. Because at the end of the day, a motorcycle is so much more than just a machine. It's a statement, right? It's about how you want to move through the world. It reflects your purpose, your passion, your personality. So really, the only question left to ask is, what kind of journey are you on?